This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Hey everybody, it is the After Party Live. Yes, you're all right. I totally screwed it up. That whole AM PM thing really caught me off my game today. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for coming anyway and knowing that it was just a mess up. That's why I love you guys. You totally get what it is. So looks like Rhonda says hers has the correct date. Wes says, yeah, I got AM and PM mixed up. I am so sorry. It's just an error. And I really apologize for that, but I'm glad you all found your way here anyway. Hopefully you did, as people trickle in. So did I mess up it says March 5th? Boy, I really messed it up, didn't I? I'm sorry about that. Well, we're going to do the show anyway, and thank you for finding your way here, and hopefully people will figure it out. If not, the recorded version will be available, and I'm sorry for unclicking or not clicking on the right time. I think you know what I did is that the StreamYard, the program that we use, Mark and Nikki and I, to do these shows, just had it automatically in there, and I didn't change it, and that's my bad. I'm sorry. So thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you for applauding my mistake. Before we get off the ground and go with the show, I do want to thank some people. First of all, yesterday, everyone who contributed, and Chris from Menlo Park matching those donations. That was just it was so overwhelming. Thank you for doing that so much. Today, some contributions coming through as well. From Wes, $5.65 through PayPal. Much appreciated. Deborah S. contributing. Lori Dolly contributing as well. Carol S. Rhonda contributing. So those are just some of the contributions that came in through the yesterday afternoon and through the overnight and into today. So thank you so much for the PayPal contributions. You can find them, or the information for PayPal, in the show description and in the About tab here on YouTube. And then Beth coming in with a super sticker for $20. Beth Farmer, thank you so much for your generosity. Really, really appreciate that a lot. Heather missed yesterday. Awful. I'm glad you found the show today. Apparently I didn't make it easy, so thank you for finding it anyway. Yeah. Mo says I follow the link and it works every time. Thank you so much for doing that. You know, Tony posts that on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I really appreciate him doing that as well. Really nice. He doesn't have to, and he does it, so I'm glad that works. The 65 cents covers the PayPal fee. Well, thank you for covering the PayPal fee. That's nice of you. Gosh, really cool. Okay, so let's jump into some of these stories because we have a first. There's never been anything like this. The first commercial flight landing on the moon, achieving success. Now, there have been a couple other efforts, but finally, we get success happening. This company has set down on the moon this commercial lunar mission. This company is called Firefly Aerospace, and their Blue Ghost touched down on the lunar surface and began operating on Sunday. They say they stuck the landing. It is really the first successful lunar landing from a commercial company as well. There have been a couple other attempts by companies. Intuitive Machines launched a commercial mission to the lunar surface last year. Their craft landed on its side and then stopped working. The Odysseus, the first US lunar module to land on the moon's surface in half a century, came in too fast, caught one of its legs on the surface of the moon, tipped over, and it was incapable of transmitting data back to Earth. We'll call it a fail. There was a Japanese company a couple years ago, crashed onto the surface of the moon. Their device largely inoperable. Now we have some success from this Texas-based Firefly Aerospace. It makes it the first commercial company in history to achieve a fully successful soft landing on the moon. Hey, we got it, right? It's part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services Initiative. The administration contracts with third parties to carry scientific hardware and other tech to the moon's surface. So, this Blue Ghost is carrying instruments for 10 NASA based scientific research projects, and it is now successfully on the moon. So, there you go. The manned Artemis program is part of the same initiative. Blue Ghost, scheduled to capture images of a total solar eclipse on March 14th when the Earth passes between the moon and the sun. And after it landed on Sunday, this Blue Ghost started transmitting images from the lunar surface back to waiting scientists on Earth, one of two lunar landers that launched aboard a Falcon 9 rocket from Kennedy Space Center on January 15th. The other one, called Resilience, is scheduled to land on the moon either late May or early June, they think. So here we go with our commercial companies landing on the moon. Mm. Something else that we are following is the pipping. This is pretty exciting. Yvonne sends me pictures of the pipping and of the eggs. We share this in common. We're very excited about what's going on with the eaglets in Big Bear, California. We had last year the Eagle Watch, and the eggs weren't viable. So to see that there's pipping, and that means kind of cracking and somebody emerging from these eggs, is exciting. And look in there, you can see something's going on. This is pretty exciting. And I have the video. This isn't live video because I rewound it to a particular spot where the eagle kind of hops off the nest and you can see what's going on underneath for just a minute. So I thought maybe we could check this out together. But they say 2 or 3 days after the pipping starts, the eaglets should emerge. So any time now, really, because the pipping started a day or so ago, we could see the eaglets pop out. And when she rises, if this is the she, because both the male and female eagles take turns guarding the eggs in the nest. Isn't it amazing how much you learn watching the eagle live cam? So relaxing. As a matter of fact, for just a moment, let's listen to the sounds. I'm seeing eaglets in there. Look at them. At least one, maybe two have emerged. Look at them. Let's hope they survive. How exciting. Beautiful little eaglets. At least two. One of the eggs still looks intact. She's going to settle right back down on top of them. What's that? So that's pretty cool, right? I know they have a lot of challenges, so survival is uncertain, but at least we have the eaglets pipping and hatching, and we can see them alive. So this is pretty cool. And it looks like whether this is the mom or dad, they're totally still in nesting mode and caretaking mode. And I love the sounds of the wind and the chirps. That's pretty cool. Um, but let's fast forward to this is the live portion. This is what's happening right now in the nest. Live video from the friendsofbigbearvalley.org. I love that they have the live cam for everyone. It's relaxing and exciting at the same time. So that's what's going on at the nest. Thank you to Yvonne for always sharing with me the latest, and I get to share it with you. So that's pretty cool. Okay, that's what's happening. Oh, look at the little eagles. I'm so excited. They're finally born. I'm going to the chat. I'm so excited about it. More muffins being made, I see. Do they have any eggs to spare? Maybe that one that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I don't know. Yeah. She's making biscuits like a kitty, says Heather. So, Eagle Butt, SF Tesla, we thought we were the only ones following this. Pipping a Zoom I went caught on about it too. Yeah, it's exciting. Who's taking care of the lander? The cameraman is always there. Who's taking a picture of the lander? I think they have artist renderings, but also you can take pictures of things on the moon, right? I think. I don't know. I didn't ask that question. Good perspective. Good morning to you, Dan. Thank you. My kitty is looking at the screen right now because of the bird noises. Very, very cool. All right, let's move on. I know I was a little excited about the pipping, but I have another video for you. And this one is an opossum or possum, depending on what you call it, that was chased over a bridge in police pursuit, albeit a very slow speed police pursuit. The possum, I think I have the video. The possum is now in lockup. The San Francisco Oakland CHP office says, here it is. This possum was found trying to cross the Bay Bridge earlier this morning. A driver spotted it attempting to cross the upper deck of the Bay Bridge along the right shoulder and quickly alerted the CHP dispatch. The CHP responded, found the possum approaching Treasure Island after making a lengthy journey up the incline portion of the bridge. Oh no. As the CHP motor officer, Pack located the possum, an extremely slow speed pursuit was initiated as this opossum failed to yield to the officer's directions. The possum continued westbound in an attempt to evade, tried to turn around, went the wrong way against traffic. The officer kept a close eye on the furry friend while waiting for backup units to assist. This is all what CHP has posted. A concerned citizen and owner of a local East Bay nonprofit animal rescue shelter called Jelly's Place observed the slow speed pursuit and pulled over to lend a hand, and the furry possum was safely detained and removed from a dangerous location without further incident. And now here is the possum, because, this could have ended badly. A possum on the Bay Bridge could have ended in a way that is unfortunate. So it's nice, even though this possum is now caged up, nice to see that it went this way. Oh, there he is in there, if you can see him. Yeah. There they are on the Bay Bridge with a slow speed pursuit. And there's the helper. Pretty good. Got him in a cage. How cool that Jelly's Place just happened to be passing by. There you go. There it goes. Off to Jelly's Place. Very nice. They say special thanks to the Alert 911 caller and Julie for recognizing and assisting in this lost furry friend whose identity remains undisclosed at this time. There it is. A happy ending for this possum who took the wrong on-ramp and ended up on the Bay Bridge. Yikes. Not what we want to see. All right. How about we talk about this golden toilet theft? I've been holding on to this story for a little bit, but I can no longer refrain from sharing the saga of the golden toilet. Thieves stole this. It's gold. Like when I say it's not just overlay gold, this thing is gold. It was at Blenheim Palace, an 18-karat gold potty. The title of this is kind of an art installation. They titled it America. It was made by an Italian artist, Maurizio Catalan, weighs about 98 grams. It was insured for $6 million, and it was taken by sledgehammer-wielding thieves who smashed their way into this Blenheim Palace to steal this golden toilet. And they were fast, too. They took it within about 5 minutes. It was fully functioning, this toilet, while on exhibit at Blenheim Palace. This, by the way, is the country house where Sir Winston Churchill was born. It was stolen in September of 2019. This 18-karat gold potty called America was believed to be worth about 2.8 million pounds at the time of the theft. They found it and they caught the people. Now, one of them, Michael Jones, who's from Oxford, pleaded not guilty to stealing artwork in an overnight raid in 2019. Frederick Sines, also known as Frederick Doe, and Bora Gukuk from West London each deny one count of conspiracy to transfer criminal property. The thieves allegedly leaving the sledgehammers at the scene and making off with the golden toilet. Within days of the raid, police say the two men were using car as a code word for the stolen gold, and contact was made with a jeweler. The burglary, police say, was carefully planned and swiftly carried out. The men, 5 of them, it appears, drove through locked wooden gates into the grounds of Blenheim Palace shortly before 5 a.m. in 2 stolen vehicles. They drove across a field up to the front steps, smashed, broke through a window, and they knew precisely where to go, broke down the wooden door to the cubicle where this toilet was fully plumbed in, removing it, leaving water pouring out of the pipes. In all, they spent just 5 minutes in the building. Police say such an audacious raid would not have been possible without lots of preparation. The work of art, the golden toilet, never recovered. It appears to have been split up into smaller amounts of gold and never recovered. It's alleged that 2 of the suspects agreed to help one of the men who carried out the burglary sell some of the gold in the weeks after they allegedly took it. So, the potty, it's a goner. I love that they called it America. I mean, you know, they even have, by the way, video of the toilet being stolen from the palace. Shall we watch it? I think we shall. Hold on, let me get the toilet potty off the thing so that we can see what happened here. I'll turn off the thing. So here they are, driving up in their VW Golf right to the steps of the palace. First clue, when you hit the steps of the palace, you know something's wrong. And then here they go. 3 men with sledgehammers head inside Blenheim Palace. They're going to run in. There they are with their sledgehammers. Sir, is that you heading up the palace steps? Mm-hmm. They've got the VW Golf hatchback open, put this toilet in the back, and off they go. They're fast. So gold's gone. They didn't get away with it, though. That is the saga of the golden toilet, and off they go. Into the night, the art installation never to be seen again. Yeah, well, this is why golden toilets aren't wise, right? There's also a video I have to show you of this lady who was so angry that she wanted to vandalize her ex's car. You know, you get so upset, you go ballistic. Hasn't happened to me, but you know, people get angry, right? This lady, she got really angry. And unfortunately, she took her aggression out on the wrong car. And unfortunately, there's video of her vandalizing the wrong vehicle. I wonder, do you feel bad? I mean, are you just still so angry that you're like, it doesn't matter? Here it is. She vandalized the wrong car. She, by the way, was also caught driving with 2 open alcohol bottles. So there's that.
You really need to try harder to try to be sneaky because you are god awful. You guys spray painted the wrong damn car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that neighbor's
I mean, at
fault.
least it made the police laugh, I guess. She really did a number on this car. She wrote all kinds of horrible words all over it. Look at that. The police say they saw this woman, she's 18, driving with a couple of open bottles in the car, and she gets the wrong car. Her ex is probably like, see why I broke up with you? Yikes. A world record. This one is a little bit more lovely. This is the world's smallest park. teeny tiny 2.5 square foot park. It's officially the world's smallest park. This is in Nagazumi, Japan. And this 2.5 square foot park is named officially now the world's smallest. The park is near Nagazumi Town Hall, about an hour from Tokyo. The park was created in 1988 after a worker at the Construction Management Division of Nagazumi Town returned from a trip to the United States. That is where the worker saw a previous smallest park record in Portland, Oregon. It was 3.1 square feet, and this worker thought, haha, I can beat you, America. So they went to work creating an even smaller park. The park was completed in 1988, but the city didn't try for a Guinness World Records to measure it until December of last year. So it has now been certified the smallest park in the world. The folks in Japan say they'd like to continue maintaining the park with the community, as well as creating the landscape more social media friendly, so even more people will find attractions in our town. There it is. It's a cute little park. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to see it. It's a plant on some bricks, it looks like. I mean, yay. I don't know. Okay. If you know what, if it brings tourists your way, fine. That is lovely. But I don't know. It seems kind of like a waste of time and a bit of a PR stunt. But that's all right. That's okay. I have a video next to show you about this ballet dancer who is so pretty. She's from Syria, and she also now has broken the record for the longest distance covered while performing the splits on 2 moving ATVs. This is awfully specific. I mean, okay, I don't know. It's incredible what she's doing, but check out the video. So here she is. She's doing the splits. And she stays there. I mean, I would imagine the drivers have to be incredibly precise in maintaining what they're doing. I'll turn the sound off so the music doesn't play. Look at how still she is. I can imagine if one got further than the other, it would kind of hurt or she would fall. But yeah, she makes it. So there it is. Pretty well done. Her form was lovely. The stunt allowed her to balance on these ATVs for 1,541 feet and 11 inches. So she breaks the Guinness World Record. She's 26. Her name is Yara, and she's from Syria. And it's technically the record she broke is longest distance covered while performing a split on 2 moving ATVs. So in order to do this, she was not allowed to touch anything with her arms, with each of her legs balanced on a different vehicle. They did it in the United Arab Emirates. And I would say the 2 ATV drivers also should get a lot of credit for being able to stay very, very even. I would imagine they had to do a lot of test runs to maintain their exact equal rolling. They say, though, we didn't actually know each other beforehand, but we got to make this record and we're really great partners. This is what the dancer told the Guinness World Records of the driver. She said the confidence was important and it was already there because I saw their performance and I was confident that we could achieve this number successfully. So the ATVs maintained a speed of 3.1 miles per hour for the duration of this attempt. And she, again, takes the record with 1,541 feet, 11 inches, doing the splits on the back of 2 ATVs. It could have gone horribly wrong. So we'll give her that. You know, I have a health story that it really, really shocks me because I thought we all knew this. I know this group is really smart. You guys are up on everything including trivia. So what I think would be common knowledge like this, I'm sure you're all up on it. But in case you aren't, I wanted to do the story that many people are unaware of the link between HPV, which is the human papillomavirus, and cancer. They did a poll at Ohio State University that showed that many Americans remain unaware of the risk of cancer for both men and women linked to the human papillomavirus. How do we not know this? There's a vaccine that will keep women from getting cervical cancer if they're exposed to HPV. I thought we all knew this, or maybe it's just me because I have a teenage girl and an 11-year-old boy. And now they say that both of them should get the vaccine, not just girls, but boys as well. The article says that a lot of people don't know much about HPV and the long-term cancer risks, or have misperceptions about how it's spread. I would like to think, again, that we all know this, but just in case, hey, we all have to learn sometime, right? So people see HPV as most associated with cervical cancer risk in women. They shrug off the importance of vaccinations for men. And I have to tell you that Jacob had his 11-year-old checkup, and Julia has a checkup coming this summer. And I have serious concerns about the possibility that vaccines won't be available, as Heather has mentioned in the chat before. And so, much to the chagrin of my children, they're getting every shot they can as soon as they can. And so we're undergoing this HPV vaccine right now. I don't know if my kids will ever become exposed to this, and I hope they won't, but on the off chance that they do, doesn't it make sense to be preventative about it? I think so. The lack of awareness, according to this article in UPI.com Health, says it might explain why HPV vaccination rates have been slow to increase. Doctors say, listen, we have this vaccine that has been shown to reduce the risk of HPV infection by up to 90%. And people are slow to get the vaccine. It's a powerful tool for cancer prevention. It's only been available for the last few decades. And doctors say we're seeing the impact of those vaccines now through the scientific data. The Federal Healthy People 2030 goals, I didn't know we had that, call for at least 80% of teens to be vaccinated against HPV by the end of the decade. That is according to the National Cancer Institute. So far, here's the numbers. We want 80% vaccinated, right? Herd immunity. So far, 57% of boys and 61% of girls have received the HPV vaccine. My kids will be among those. Researchers asked people if they agree or disagree with the basic statements about HPV, and they say the responses showed an astonishing lack of knowledge. Here's the examples. 42% believed HPV is more common in women than men, which is concerning because the more men are infected with HPV than women and could unknowingly spread it to their partners. So it's not more women than men. Nearly half of respondents, 45%, did not know that HPV is linked to cancers other than cervical cancer in women. But HPV does cause more than 9 out of every 10 cases of cervical cancer. The virus also causes cancers of other body parts. And I'll just go ahead and say them. The penis, the anus, the head, and the neck among men. That according to the CDC. So if you didn't know, now you do. 4 out of every 10 cases of cancer caused by HPV occur among men. Every year, more than 15,000 American men develop cancers caused by HPV. There have also been rapidly rising rates of HPV-related tonsil and tongue-based cancers as well. That according to the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center. These cancers, they say, could become one of the top 3 cancers among middle-aged U.S. men aged 45 to 65 by 2045, and the most common cancer in elderly men in the next 10 years. In the new survey, 40% of poll respondents said they think people with HPV have symptoms, But HPV infections are largely silent for years. Some symptoms develop only after the virus has caused cancer. Doctors say it can take years or even decades for the genetic changes caused by HPV to take effect and transform to cancer. CDC stats show the vaccine has been effective, though, in cutting down on HPV since its approval for girls in 2006 and subsequent approval for boys in 2009. They say infections with the HPV strains that cause the most cancers have dropped 88% among teen girls, 81% among young adult women. We know HPV is transmitted sexually, right? We know that. Once someone is infected, there are no drugs that will rid them of the virus. So, the HPV vaccine is called Gardasil. It's recommended for ages 9 and 12 for maximum effectiveness. But you can get it if you say you don't have HPV. I think they can test you for that, right? I don't know. But they say you can get the vaccine up until the age of 45. So if you don't have it, you're worried that you could be at risk for it, you want to be vaccinated for it, hey, get that vaccine up to the age of 45. They say many who are unvaccinated unknowingly carry and spread high-risk strains of the virus, which is why vaccination is so important. And again, this study and the poll come out of the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center. And I think it's important to know. We don't talk about cancers of the private parts, and maybe it's uncomfortable to talk about, but if so many people don't know about it, we got to talk about it, right? I'm going to the chat. Deidre says, I met someone last year who had throat cancer from dormant HPV. Heather says, so if you're over 45, you don't get busy anymore? Age restrictions are ridiculous. Maybe, I mean, you would think people are sexually active at all ages. Perhaps they think that you're more in a stable partnership by that age. I don't know why it's the age of 45. If it's just a random age, why they picked it, or if it loses its effectiveness after that age. Yeah, I don't know. Deidre says before the vaccine, 1 in 3 carried HPV among younger people. That's wild. I didn't know that, Deidre. BW Rock, yeah, and apparently nobody under 50 gets shingles. These are insurance company barriers based on costs. That's what it is. It's all about the money, right? Yeah. It's crazy. Teacher Lori says, I've been seeing a lot of commercials for HPV vaccines and getting it up to age 45. John says, I need to get my MMR vaccination. I heard that if you had the measles vaccine between 57 and 68, it wasn't as effective as the one they give today. Well, with measles all over the place, it seems like a good time to make sure that you're immune, right? Yeah. Yeah, now's the time before they engage in risky behavior. You know what? As a mom, I hope they don't engage in risky behavior. I hope that I've taught them to protect themselves. But then you go out into the world and life happens, right? I've had friends that have suffered because of this, because of specifically HPV. I had one friend who knew the guy that gave it to her and said she wondered if she was able to prove it and sue him. I don't think she ever did. But life happens and things get messy and ugly like that. And I want to make sure they're protected. Yeah, Heather says, I'm front loading as much as I can. Got turned away for the shingles vax. I think they probably will, the doctor's office, Heather. That's one of the things. I think I over vaccinated Jacob at the doctor's appointment. I had forgotten that we have a new baby in our family. And so the whole family was vaccinated for whooping cough, which is something that is recommended if you're going to visit a baby and hold the baby, interact with the baby in newborn. And they said, looks like he's due for the tetanus whooping cough, vaccine. And so I gave it to him again. And I'm hoping that 2 in a row won't hurt him. I hope not. Ooh, Mama says I had shingles when I was 28. Yikes. Oh, God. Oh, Deidre talked my son into getting the HPV vaccine by describing how they removed warts in great detail. Ooh, gosh. Yeah. Heather with the truth. Stable relationship or not, assault is always a possibility. Absolutely. Mama says my doctor refused to give it to me because I'm married. What kind of doctor's that? As if your husband can't cheat on you, or as if your husband doesn't come into the relationship with a previous sexual history that you have no idea? I mean, we hope we know. Come on. Ooh, BW Rock says my wife got shingles in her eye at age 40. Yikes. I hope it didn't have long-term effects on her vision. That's horrible. God. Yeah, Rhonda just got her whooping cough vaccine. Teacher Lori experiencing that as well, Everything. Eileen says, my husband and I are in our 70s. Should we get the MMR series again? I think if you're looking at the information today, that possibly the vaccines of today are stronger than the ones of the past. You can go to the doctor's office and ask that they test you to see how immune you are to something and whether or not you need it, but also ask your doctor, because I don't think you can over vaccinate. I don't think it's going to hurt you to get the vaccine again. So I don't know, but that's a question for a medical professional for sure. BW Rock says she has permanent floaters. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to her. Man, awful. Yeah, Heather says, I think you can get a booster, which will up your immunity. Absolutely. All right, to another medical story now, and this one is about food allergies and some headway being made. It seems like from the time my 15-year-old daughter was in school to now my 11-year-old son, more kids in elementary school are popping up with these food allergies. And I don't know if it's a thing, if they're all really allergic, or if something is happening to us, but scientists are looking at these asthma drugs that are injectable that are resolving dangerous food allergies in 1/3 of children. So they use these drugs like Xolair. It's also called omalizumab. I just said that wrong. Omalizumab. Omalizumab. Okay, they injected it. And they said more than 1/3 of food allergic kids were able to eat full servings of their trigger foods after treatment with an injectable asthma drug. 36% of kids treated with Xolair for a year successfully ate full servings of allergy-triggering foods, according to phase 2 trial results. The results presented on Sunday at a meeting of the American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. They held that meeting in San Diego. 19% of children could do the same when given a shorter round of this drug, followed by months of oral immunotherapy. That's a treatment through which patients build tolerance by eating gradually increasing amounts of food allergens. Stage 3 results from the clinical trial found kids retained some resistance to food allergies even after they stopped taking this drug. And the doctors involved in the study say it's the first time we've been able to directly compare these two treatments for multiple food allergies. The study shows this drug was superior to oral immunotherapy. The research done out of the Allergy, Immunology, and Rheumatology Department at Johns Hopkins Cancer Center. 8% of kids in the US are affected by food allergies, 10% of adults. This drug works by binding the antibodies that promote allergic reactions, rendering them inactive. Been on the market since 2003, but approved for asthma-related causes. But they say, based on early results from this clinical trial, this could be FDA approved for treatment for food allergies in adults and kids as young as 1 year old. So the study involved 117 kids with an average age of 7 who were allergic to peanuts and at least 2 other common food allergies: milks, eggs, cashews, wheat, walnut, hazelnut, this type of thing. So And they go on about the study. But interesting that this drug that was made for one thing could be made for something, or could be useful for something else. Okay, it's 2:00 already, and I haven't gotten to our Travel Tuesday, but I did want to do this one story about donuts, because I thought the audio was really kind of sweet. I mean, sweet in hey, let's abuse 911 kind of way. And it kind of goes on and on, but I wanted to show it to you because I don't know if you think that playing along with this, or rewarding a kid for making this happen, is like encouraging them to do it again, which really shouldn't be the way it is, or if you think it's cute that officers actually played along with this toddler who unfortunately called 911 and asked for emergency donuts. Here's the sound.
More 911, what's the address of your emergency?
What?
Hello, more 911.
What?
Hello?
Yes?
Do you have an emergency?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. How do you be
Hello? Donuts. I want donuts.
I'm
Dispatcher knows right away, right?
You taking it, mommy?
You can take me to mommy now?
Hey, Mom, won't. What is this donut? Yes. Of course. What is this donut?
Hello?
What is this donut?
Can I talk to mom?
Bye. What did you say? What is this donut? That's all.
I want some donuts. Are you going to share your donuts?
Must have been a slow day at the dispatch center.
Can you tell me what kind of donuts you have? Do you have blueberry donuts?
But
An emergency?
Donut.
Are you going to share?
Right now.
You're not. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Can I talk to mom?
Emergency donut.
And so the toddler ends up hanging up. But you wonder why the 911 dispatcher played along. They don't know what's wrong. They don't know if there's something wrong, and if she has a good rapport with a child, maybe she can pull some information out. This is something they have to do because it's a kid on the other end, and they don't know what's going on. By the way, this happened in Oklahoma, this at the Moore Police Department, and this 911 call was made by this toddler who was given an old cell phone to play with. And the old cell phone still had emergency calling enabled on it. So at least the little boy was polite, tells the dispatcher, have a good day. But police say old cell phones may be unable to use high frequency data networks. They might not be able to take pictures or play music, but in an emergency, in some cases, if you haven't completely disconnected the service, they can still call 911 in an emergency. So as long as an old cell phone is still functional, it can be used in an emergency. So Bennett, this little boy, got a visit from the police because they have to do a well check. They don't know if anything's wrong. And the police visited his home and delivered some donuts from Dunkin'. And this is the question I have. I mean, that's sweet and everything, but when the boy gets donuts, is he not encouraged then to keep calling 911 for emergency donuts? I don't know if you want to reward this kind of behavior. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, I thought that video was funny and cute. I'm going to the chat. Yeah. Yeah, Rhonda says they don't know what's going on. They have to find out. Sandy thinks it's a waste of resources. It's true, but the call comes in, you've got to handle it. Wes says it's true. When I worked at Nokia, this is a feature that's been in phones for a long time. Even without a SIM card, they can still call 911. See, I had no idea that was the case. See what we learn on this show? Teacher Lori says, give them donuts and take away the cell phone. Rhonda's like, don't reward that. No, don't do that. All right, you guys ready for it? We are headed today. I, I, I was thinking about the places we could go on Travel Tuesday. And I thought, with everything happening today, and I know we don't get political, but perhaps the way we spend our dollars could be political. And perhaps maybe we'd like to reward Canada. Just a thought. And so I thought to myself, if someone's planning a trip, or maybe if we want to showcase a place, perhaps we could showcase somewhere in Canada. And so today we are off to Banff, Canada. Hope I'm saying it right, because here we go, and it is beautiful. So let's go to Canada. Why don't we? Maybe I think they said today, I heard not only Trudeau, but also the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, say, America, we like you, Americans. It's not you, it's him. So I think they still like us. And I think if we were to do something like, I don't know, highlight parts of their country for tourism, or say, go there and spend dollars in Canada, they might be appreciative. I'm just saying, they might be welcoming. And so we're off to Canada with a good reason, right? How beautiful is that? Look at the mountains and the snow and the trees and the blue lake, and all the colors just pops off the screen. Can you imagine standing there and taking this in person? Incredible. So let's look at Canada and look at some of the best places to go in Canada. How about that? This is Sulphur Mountain. Breathtaking views of the Bow River Valley and Banff. Look at that. I mean, wow. Just the most beautiful landscape. So here we go. Here's another place to visit in Canada. They say that it's ranked among some of the best vacations you can take going to Banff. And what we are looking at here is one of the winter festivals where you can see the carvings in the ice. So beautiful and creative and fun to walk around and look at. So this is, let me get more specific about it. It's the Snow Days Festival. These huge blocks of snow are shaped into these figures, and it is all around the city of Banff. Just incredible. Let's go to Moraine Lake. Here it is. Hold on. Look at that. Yes, please. Make it a little bit bigger. Wow. I mean, that's incredible. This is they say, a breathtaking experience, a highlight in warmer weather, canoeing on Moraine Lake. One of the highlights of visiting Banff. Travelers, they say, who stopped at the Cave and Basin National Historic Site say it's a must visit. Here it is. Look at that. That's kind of like a hide in your cave Monday and a waterfall Wednesday all wrapped into one. That is definitely a must-see. This is a historical significance and stunning views. And again, it's called the Cave and Basin National Historic Site in Banff. Incredible. This one, I'm going to leave this one for the thrill seekers. I get that this is safe, but maybe I'm a bit wimpy. This one might freak me out a little bit. You can see the people walking across a very, very narrow bridge strung across what looks to be a gorge. It is Via Ferrata at Mount Norquay. They call it a one-of-a-kind adventure, somewhere between hiking and rock climbing. So, for the thrill seeker in us, yes. For me, I think I'm going to leave that one out. No thanks. This is a pathway I can get behind. Oh, wow. We might have to go back to Banff for Waterfall Wednesday tomorrow as well. Check this out. Look at that pathway. So pretty. This is Johnston Canyon, as in David K. Johnston. Johnston Canyon, popular for its waterfalls, surrounded by a lush forest and a little pathway that looks like it's easy to navigate. What a nice walk through the waterfalls and the lush forest. I can only imagine the beautiful sounds. How about making a furry friend on a dog sledding run in Banff? I used to have a dog that looked exactly like this, a Siberian Husky, white with blue eyes, and she was so sweet. So sweet. Her name was Zoe. We used to call her Zoe the Zoom dog because she would run in circles over and over and over again. She had a lot of energy. She was amazing with kids, and I miss her all the time. Here's another picture. Bike riding. Look at that. That's pretty incredible. You can check this out from May to June, September to October. For the first 10.5 miles of the Bow Valley Parkway leading from Banff are closed to vehicles, so it's the perfect time to rent a bike. Again, May to June, September to October. The roadway is closed, and it's all about biking in this area. Yeah. How about this? Learn about what indigenous people contributed to this area by visiting the Buffalo Nation's Luxton Museum. Yes, please. What a beautiful place it is. Let's spend our money there. While you're in Banff, after you've achieved the thrill of walking along a very narrow bridge over a gorge, how about whitewater rafting? Yeah, look at that. The color of the colors there are just jumping off the screen. There's a whitewater rafting adventure you can go on. You can peacefully glide through the water. There are all kinds of tours you can take in Banff, water tours, whether it's rafting, canoeing, whatever. Or how about the Banff Upper Hot Springs, the perfect way to end a ski day in the colder months? That looks so picturesque, doesn't it? It almost looks like something out of Switzerland. But look at in the front of this Nordic-looking house is hot springs. The steaming Banff Upper Hot Springs, they say, are a welcome way to end a ski day. So pretty. For the hikers among us, here is what we saw at the very beginning with exceptional views at the Via Ferrata at Mount Norquay. Check that out. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. This is a picture of a woman standing in front of the Columbia ice field. They say this is a must-see. Got to go see the Columbia ice field while you are in the Banff area. That's pretty beautiful. It's the ski lift in what looks to be the springtime. If you're in Banff during the spring or summer, consider a ride on the Mount Norquay chairlift just for the unbeatable views in this area. And of course, if you're in during the snowy months, got to go skiing in Banff, right? The Lake Louise ski area is Banff's largest skiing spot. They have 4,200 acres of skiable terrain in this area. And again, we saw Moraine Lake canoeing. Now look at it from up above. Like I'm telling you, the colors are amazing. Moraine Lake, visual highlight of any Banff trip. And this is an aerial photo of it. Really, really beautiful. A ride on the Banff gondola offers breathtaking views of the town and the surrounding landscape. So maybe if the ski lift is a little too open for you, that's all right. Look at, they have the gondola. Those views would be amazing. I say we all pile into the gondola and off we go. Oh man, the photography is amazing. This again, a picture of Moraine Lake. They have a natural overlook And you're seeing in the background the Valley of the 10 Peaks, the Valley of the 10 Peaks, as seen from an overlook area near Moraine Lake. There's some more river rafting on the Bow River, which just looks super fun. And again, the Snow Days Festival. That's really incredible. Look at this picture of this bear carved into the snow. I could see this being a great vacation, right? There's a gondola to the summit, by the way, of the 7,500 foot tall Sulphur Mountain. They say it'll give you amazing views and a completely new perspective on the world. Here's another shot in Banff. Snowboarding at Mount Norquay. That's a little beyond my skill level, but hey, that's pretty cool. Look at the view in the background. The world is a beautiful place. This is a picture of a snowy roadway trying to get to the Columbia ice field. It's a drive of about 2 hours headed north from Banff along the scenic Icefields Parkway is what you're looking at here. That's pretty beautiful as well. They say at the top of the gondola, there are restaurants, a gift shop, a theater, an interactive interpretive center, and there's also a 360-degree observational deck. So if you do end up on that gondola that we showed a minute ago, you'll see that. More skiing, pretty incredible. Looks like Lake Moraine again and the Valley of the 10 behind it. What a great shot though, right? That is beautiful. Look at that. It's a pretty picture. This is the summit at Sulphur Mountain. Sweeping views of the Bow River Valley and Banff. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I think I'm really enjoying this vacation. I don't know about you guys. I got a little hot drink at the lodge. Why not? A little skiing. Look at that. Okay, this is pretty cool. Being able to watch stuff like this. It's called, we get it, skioring. Skijorring. Skioring. This is where horses tow riders over ski jumps. And look at the crowd of people watching. Skioring. I have never heard of such a thing. Now we know. Go watch some skioring in Banff, right? Yeah. Snowboarding. Look at that. If you're a skier, this is like heaven, right? Dog sledding. Incredible. Back to the pictures of the cave. Really, really beautiful. They'll explain to you how to mountain climb, whitewater rafting, just incredible pictures. Really, really nice. This, by the way, is a picture of, let me get to it, the Gateway to the Rockies exhibition at the White Museum, where you can learn about the culture and history of the Canadian Rockies through artwork, archival photos, recordings, documents, and artifacts. They even have a full-size helicopter there that you can look at as well. So those are just some of the more beautiful pictures from Banff. And that, my friends, is... Oh, someone's vacuuming outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I like when people clean. This is good. I'll take a little vacuuming on a Travel Tuesday. Thank you for being along with me. I know we're a little bit over time, and I appreciate you so much. I hope you had fun on that trip. And I say, if you're looking for a vacation, consider Canada, right? Yeah. Gordon says, no ski drive. Yes. Lake might be spring-fed. You think Lake Moraine is spring-fed? I don't know. Pool looks like my vacation in Mexico. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, really beautiful. Love your comments. Thank you. Stunning pictures. I bet it's freezing in the winter. Yeah, but if you're skiing, you're used to that kind of stuff, right? Absolutely. Rev says, I've been through Banff. It's lovely. Heather says, I just wish Canada would adopt us. Why not, right? Thank you so much to Beth Farmer throwing in 20. So appreciated. I can't even tell you. Really, really, really nice. And to Wes, who came through with a $5.65 contribution today. So appreciate it. And also overnight, I had contributions come in from Deborah, who popped through. Let me see who else before I let you go. I just want to make sure that I make sure everyone gets mentioned, because sometimes I think I always mention the super chats and super stickers because they're right in front of my face, and I forget, other than at the very end of the show where the crawl comes up, I forget to thank you on PayPal. So Deborah S, Lori D, Carol S, Rhonda A, overnight with the contributions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If those are your monthly contributions, I just want you to know I really appreciate it. All right, that is the After Party Live. Do have the very, very best Tuesday. I hope that it is better already with the trip to Banff. And I will see you tomorrow. Wednesday on The Mark Thompson Show brings John Rothman, Belinda Weymouth, and we have Dr. Daigneault, who will talk to us about measles as well. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you for finding this, despite the mistake with the time and the date. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for participating in all the ways that you do. Until we meet again, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Gordon, woohoo, with a $3 super sticker. Thank you. Good morning, Deidre.